Talking all about buying silver lately. Well, the whole reason that I have been looking at buying silver is because of all the stimulus money that's going out there, right? If you know about investing in real estate, that is a fixed supply, right? There's only so much land in the world. So that is in essence a type of a commodity. And when the demand goes up for real estate, the prices go up. With all of the stimulus with COVID happening 2020, 2021, they are putting dollars out into the economy, which deflates the cost of the dollar, meaning that it drops in value, and it inflates the cost of goods. So that would drive the price up. So it would inflate the cost of any physical asset. A car, it would inflate the cost of property, it would inflate the cost of silver, gold, copper, platinum, anything that has value to it now that is a commodity of source. Likely oil would also go up in cost, even chocolate and orange juice and sugar. All of these things are going to go up in price with inflation. So that's why I'm personally looking at buying more physical gold and physical silver. Now, Jane, that's great, but how do I do this, right? Well, number one, like with any sort of investing or trading, you need to educate yourself. And that's what this video is going to do. So I'm going to talk about how you can educate yourself on these silver marks, where you could potentially buy this, what the different types of silver are that you need to know about. So first, we're going to go over the different marks, then we'll go over the different types, and then we'll go for potential places that you want to buy silver. Now remember, if you are buying silver from someone that knows a little bit less than you, there's a good chance that you're able to get this at a better price than, say, the market price. All right, let's get into it. Let me switch over to our screen. Aha, that's not the one that I want. 2 seconds, guys, while we get this set up here. There we go. All right, so I have Amazon right here. This is Amazon.com, so these are US prices. So we have the Encyclopedia of Silver Marks. Silver was made with marks to determine who the maker was. We're talking about early 1800s, 1900s. They would state what the quality is and where it was made. So you'll see there's going to be silver marks for England, for Italy, for Germany, for Mexico, US, Canada, pretty much anywhere that people are looking for silver. Trade silver marks here. So I will put a couple of these down below. Also gold. Gold is a commodity too. However, that might not necessarily be in everybody's price range. Right now in filming this video, the cost of silver per ounce is roughly 27.5 US dollars per ounce. All right, so let's get into the differences between the silvers, right? We do have sterling silver, 900, 800, alpaca, nickel silver, and silver plate. When you are looking at investing in silver, for now, silver plate is not of interest for anybody really to buy because the cost of extracting that silver from the silver plate product is going to end up being too expensive to get to the silver. Now, there could come a time, say silver goes to $1,000, right? Then it's going to be in their interest to have the silver plate and extract the silver out. In fact, the underlying item, maybe if it was put on copper as well, might also have amazing value to it. So they might want the silver and they might want the copper, and they'll spend the money to separate the two in a refining process. When we look at buying silver, 0.999 is going to be the highest that we can find typically. So I'm going to do a little snip right here so I can draw. So we have 0.999. This is many times what you're going to find in a silver bar. Now, we are experiencing a shortage of these 0.99 bars right now in February of 2021. There was a time where Wall Street Bets said, hey, they are shorting silver right now. They're holding the price of silver down. And the demand for actual physical silver bars is exceeding the supply. Basic supply and demand, what's going to happen to the price of silver? Likely going to continue to rise. Plus, we have inflation. Now, when Wall Street Bets put out, hey, everybody buy silver, they're shorting it, we're going to squeeze the silver market. Well, the silver market is huge. However, people did go on that weekend and buy physical silver bars, and they were searching for silver everywhere. A lot of the online bullion retailers sold out of the physical silver, and they mailed out certificates saying, here, you own this certificate, says that you own this much silver. Well, it's better to have that physical silver in hand, not a certificate, right? Because then you say, well, you know what, I want silver, yes, and I want that physical asset. Of course, when you have these physical assets that have value, great to also put them in a fireproof, waterproof safe. And I'll put a link down below in the description section as well. You typically want to have one that's big enough that people cannot walk away with it, right? You want to have this installed in your house so that if there was a fire, a flood, your safe items, safe documents, items of value are protected and nobody can walk away with them. You might want to have a smaller one just for in case of an emergency with a fire or something, say birth certificates and passports and things like that, that you could take with you really quickly. You might even want to put it in the bigger safe as well. Just a thought. So we have 0.999, which are typically the bars. Right now, these are becoming more and more difficult to get. That means that the demand is going up. Then we also have 0.925. Well, Jane, why would you have 0.925? Well, silver tends to be a fairly soft metal, right? If you ever studied chemistry, we have Ag as the symbol. Also, there's the stock Ag as well. If you look at it, silver is very, very soft and malleable. If you turn it into jewelry, just 100% silver, it's going to get dinged, it's going to get damaged, and it's not going to be very strong. Same thing with actual silver utensils, that you might find that if it was 0.99, oh my goodness, it's just going to, when you bite it, you could actually leave teeth marks in it. So a lot of silver that you will find, silverware, is going to be 0.925. Also, we can see that sometimes we have 0.800, and that many times is going to be German-made silver. Not only Germany, but most of the time, most German silver was made, it would be called 800 or 0.800. Now, why on earth would I be putting the point in front of it? When you see some silverware, for example, that's sterling silver, the sterling silver typically means that it's 0.925 when we look at it in jewelry aspect. I also used to make jewelry when I was little. My goodness, about 12 and 13. I used to make my own jewelry sets. It's crazy to think how things come full circle in life. So with 0.925, if you were to see something like someone is selling a set of sterling silverware, and that is 1,000 grams, right? Well, then we multiply it times 0.925, excuse me, 0.925, and then our total amount of silver for that, I'm going to slide this over because I'm realizing that you guys can't see all of my math, is going to be 925 grams. All right, you got me so far? But Jane, you said that the silver futures price is in ounces. Oh my goodness, how am I going to convert this? Very easy. 1 ounce is going to be equal to 31.1 grams. You can also Google the exact calculation. more or less, it's going to be 31. Sorry, my 3 is not the best there. 31.1 grams. So how do we figure out the ounces? We take this, we take the 925, and we divide it by 31.1, and that's going to give us our total number of ounces. All right, so let's do that really quickly. Got my calculator here. 925 divided by 31.1. So that's 29.74 ounces. A couple decimals there as well. But that's going to give you your total number of ounces that are in that product. So how do we figure out the cost, right? You want to estimate the going rate for this silver. Now, obviously, if this person is selling it for less, amazing, you are getting a bargain, right? If they're selling it for more, see if you can negotiate. See if you can bring them down to the current market rate. Well, you know what? It's this many ounces and this is the going rate. I'd like to offer you this, or just simply offer them a lower price. So if we have a market price of $27.5 per ounce, right? We have 29. So then we do 29.74. And remember, our price is per ounce, $27.50 for this example. 29.74 times 27.5. Then the total value of these 1,000 grams of silverware would be $800 US, 817.85. So say they're selling it for $700. Amazing. You already have a built-in profit with this silver. Now, if silver continues to rise in price, your profit just continues to rise. This would be an asset that I personally am looking to hold on to longer term, over time, even potentially hand down to my kids. This is a physical asset that you could put into your legacy to transfer wealth to your children as well. Whether it be physical gold, physical silver, physical copper, physical platinum jewelry, anything that you could wear, even a silver letter opener, a teapot, a tray. Just make sure that it is of quality. Now, Jane, where can I buy these? I understand you've gone over the silver valuation, $999, $925, $800. We also talked about the marks, so you know where it is. And you want to make sure, again, that if you're looking at something, if you go somewhere, make sure that you examine it for the marks that show either sterling, 925, or 800. If it's less than that right now, it's probably not really worth your time or your money to put into it, unless you're holding on for this valuation to just potentially explode. You know that it's a sort of a lottery ticket silver item. You can still use it for the use, of course, you know, like a silver plate teapot. That would be nice to use when you have friends over if you drink tea or coffee. And something to remember when you are buying, for example, silverware, is it's not only the value of the silver. This is also an antique, so it has time, right? If this is from the early 1880s, right, then you've got the value of it being an antique for over 140 years. This video was filmed in 2021. So if you look at it that way, you have the antique value. You also have a use to it if it is something that has use. So if it is a platter, silver platter, a teapot, again. Also, if you have a silver bowl, that might be a bit more for decoration. But if you have silverware, you could use this physically every single day and it would still retain the value. Remember that silver does tarnish. You would have to tarnish it as well. So looking at this, if you were to buy sets of silverware are also going to be better than single pieces. So keep that in mind because they are a complete set. There could be more antique value to them. If it was missing pieces, you might be able to add the individual pieces as well. if they're not too overpriced. So let's look at where you could buy these. All right, so I look at these I'm looking on eBay, right? eBay has them. If you have even Facebook might have silver, sterling silver, where also, at least in Canada, Kijiji, maybe Craigslist in the States if they have photographs. Also, something up here we have is called garage sale, which is a virtual garage sale. If you're in, say, the south of the States and you go to garage sales or estate sales, if they post them in the newspaper. Unfortunately, we have a lot of elderly people that are passing away due to COVID, so there might be a lot of estate sales that are out there. These people want to move forward. They want to close out the chapter of having to deal with this death, unfortunately. And sometimes that can give great opportunities to buying things at a discount. They just want to go ahead and close the deal. If you are an educated buyer in buying this silver, then you should be able to grab some great deals. Also, I wanted to show you this. Should you invest in silver bullion? What investors need to know. What's more, if its demand is high, premiums can go up fast. That was February 15th of 2021. Unpacking this silver squeeze. A flood into physical silver has been one of the results of the situation. And putting demand levels into context. January 30th to 31st sales at bullion dealerships were 10 to 25 times the typical weekend volume. February 2nd, the U.S. Mint couldn't meet demand for gold and silver coins, right? So looking at all of this right now, gold and silver, top 10 reasons to invest in silver right now. Silver is real money, right? Physical silver is a hard asset. Silver is cheap. It is cheaper than gold. It's more practical for everyday small purchases. Silver outperforms gold in bull markets, right? Look at this. From 1990 to 1980, silver went up 3,100%. Silver inventories are falling. Interesting, right? Slow or smaller supply. What can happen to the price? Incredible growth in price. Industrial use is growing for silver, also for nickel, with batteries and copper as well. And supply, oh goodness, go away commercial. Supply is about to fall, right? Mine supply is falling. All of these things are suggesting that we could see a spike in the increase in the price. World demand is growing for silver. Ooh, look at this, total demand in China is going up. Silver jewelry in India has soared. The gold to silver ratio favors silver. So all of these things are potential reasons for investing in silver. I'm not making any sort of recommendation. This video is for educational purposes. I am personally buying physical silver as an asset to hold and potentially pass on as a legacy. So I want to say thank you very much for checking out this video about how you can potentially invest in silver and also how to educate yourself more on silver. I do daily videos about the stock market, 6 days a week live stream, so please feel free to join me there as well. If you ever have any questions, please feel free to also email me at jane@cjanetrade.com. Thanks a lot and have an amazing day.